All right, my friends, welcome to the series finale of Dregs to Dracula, which has been a brutal run through a very strange server. Unfortunately, in the last episode, I mentioned that sadly the end of this run, or at least some of the end of the run, was lost, specifically just the Solaris and Adam, the Firstborn fights. So I decided to include these sections of the fights here. I just went back and recorded them. If you would like to see these fights in completion, check out my Adam or Solaris guides, where I'll just kind of go over exactly what I do to beat them. They can be pretty challenging for sure, but overall, it was, with what we had, it was not too difficult. This year, I think I did on like a private server. I just kind of like set my level to what I needed to be and came and fought them. Came and fought Solaris here, just showing you exactly how to take him down. Definitely a difficult fight on brutal mode, significantly harder than he is on normal, in my opinion, but we managed to get him down. This is, we one-shot him as well in the actual brutal run, which is really nice. And from there, we actually went over to Adam, and that fight is super good. Just going to show you what it looks like here. This is actually done on this server. I just was level 90. I just came back to do it again. And this is just going to show the last half of this fight if you would like to see it. Definitely, with the setup we had here, I'm just very confident in this fight specifically. I've done this so many times. I've done some very challenging fights against this guy. Honestly, the brutal mode with just the lasers that lock themselves out for like 30 seconds, whatever, is honestly nothing compared to the kind of stuff that I've done against this guy. If you're curious, check. I actually think I have some footage on the. If you go to my live past broadcasts, I just did like a couple broadcasts to mess around. And one of which was messing around killing the shard bosses at level 74. This is on the pre 1.0, but I was basically 9 levels lower with just basic tier 3 gear like Dawnthorn and silver weapons. And I used potions and stuff, but in like shards and things like that. But I still managed to take down the each of the shard bosses. So that's why I wasn't really super concerned with this whole this situation on brutal mode. The stuff locking out, it's like, okay, shucks. If I'm used to taking a bajillion damage, and I don't necessarily need all of this room to fight this guy. So as you can see, one thing we're using a big time here is just the slashers. It seems like every time he calls down the lightning and you use slashers, he likes to go up here and just do this big lightning storm. And it just makes it very easy to just deal with by using slasher invis. The shield is so annoying, dude. I've just dealt with this shield so many times. Like I'm always wondering if there's probably a better setup for all of this. I'll probably be practicing it a lot more. I'm also looking to do in future runs, probably normal ones specifically. I'm probably going to do some low level clears. That's my next goal. I think Coda and I are going to be trying to do a duo to Drac run, and we're going to do it on normal mode just for this one here. The next run that we do. Or this next one I do. Brutal mode, I really do enjoy it, and I love the boss mechanics. But the thing that's kind of frustrating is just like having to fight things at such a on-level situation. Like, you can fight them under-leveled if you'd like to, but overall you just have to grind so much. So, but anyway, from there this is back to the actual footage of me fighting fighting Dracula. This was my first attempt here fighting Dracula. It was okay. I mean, admittedly, I beat Drac on normal mode like basically the day after 1.0 launch. But I had not done the brutal version in like however long, I guess like a week or two. And so it's like, I'm not super confident with it. We have Shard of the Monster, which is pretty solid. And we were using pretty good setup. And honestly, I should have beaten this one, but overall I was a little bit rusty. So I'm just going to let this fight entirely play through. You can see the pistols that we have here. They're not really ideal, if I'm being honest. We were using, Bloodright Discharge, super good combo in my opinion. Jewel itself doesn't really matter, and then Discharge, I really like to have the Immaterial after the Storm Shields charge up. So, yep, in terms of ults, obviously we're using Shard of the Monster. I probably shouldn't be using Veil of Frost here. Also, Veil of Chaos is definitely a lot better. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and let this fight play out without any commentary because the fight is super, super, super epic. So I'm going to let you guys take a look at this.
Fleeing will not save you. Kneel to my dominion. Fleeing will not save you. Gaze into the maw of the vampiric vortex. Within the mist unseen. No mercy for the weak. You are a shadow, an imitation. This is what it means to be king. Your fate is sealed. Feel the bloodstorm's tide. Witness the might of the true immortal king. Run, little whelpling. The ground weeps sanguine tears. I am the ghost of your fears. On your knees. Endless hatred. Feel the bloodstorm's tide. This is the end. I am the darkness that devours all. Death is my ally. The ground weeps sanguine tears. I will be your doom. I'll make it rain blood. This is the end! Witness the might of the true immortal king! No mercy for the weak. You will learn to obey. hold me forever. Impossible! How can my own powers betray me? I am the master of blood and shadows! Flee from your inevitable demise!
So we did not manage to do this first attempt, sadly. The issue with using ball lightning in this situation, because this was pre-nerf to Dracula, if you don't get any good resets on your ball lightning, it actually just makes it extreme, or sorry, not your ball lightning, on your blood right, it makes it feel almost impossible to work this with just one counter. But because they've nerfed him, it actually absolutely is easily doable with just blood right and ball lightning. Maybe not easy, I don't know, but it's definitely more realistic to do it because you just don't take as much damage. As you can see at that fight, you just take like a bajillion damage. We attempted one more fight with the setup and it didn't really work. So I took a break and I came back. I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, it just my system started picking up audio from my mic, and so you can hear my keys and stuff in this situation. But overall, this run here, this is just my third attempt here, and we did a little bit of a different tactic on that next part, which was the other more consistent tactic that worked for me on beta. So, yep, hope you enjoy the end of this fight.
Your demise. The ground weeps sanguine tears. I'll make it rain blood. No! Impossible! You think you can defeat me? I am inevitable! Death will not hold me forever. Impossible! How can my own powers betray me? Flee from your inevitable demise! Witness the might of the true Immortal King! I am the master of blood and shadows! by my own power. There could be no other way.
I disagree. I feel stronger. I can feel my power magnified.
And from there, in order to celebrate, I figured there was one last boss left for us to beat, which was Simon Belmont.
No monster shall escape my justice. No monster can escape a Belmont's justice. I vanquish the darkness. Destroy the enemies of good. Back to the shadows, creature of the night. Prepare for your end. Destroy the enemies of good. By the name Belmont, embrace the flames, foul creature. You can't escape justice. Ancestors, guide my axe! Aha! I've got you now! There is no escape from judgment! I call on the holy wrath of my ancestors! Behold the might of the Belmont bloodline. It's a hunter's technique. Your reign ends here. Crush the darkness. Evil dies today! I faced my destiny with valor. Can you say the same? This way. New knowledge acquired.
And from there, our progression run was over. But I was not done with this server. I feel like I owed them a taste of their own medicine. So I decided that the next incursion event that happened, I would go looking for fights as much as I possibly could, and I definitely found some. So feel free to just sit back and enjoy this little mini small PvP montage. Sadly, there wasn't more than this. But just know that the music that I set it to was made by a artificial intelligence, so you can feel free to contemplate your existence while you enjoy the fights. And then the server died. No, but seriously, I relocated my castle for a third time, found a spot that I like in West Farbane that's decent enough that I wanted to use for kind of set up for a raid defense. I was planning on doing some kind of raiding on the server. Unfortunately, it was a weekend-only raid, and while there were some raids in the beginning, nobody really did much after the end, so I kind of went back to start farming Dracula. Didn't really see anyone, no one was online, and so I just kept farming him over and over and over and over again. And especially with the recent nerf to him, I just kind of made it a little bit easier, so I just kept farming him over and over and over, and I was trying to decide what to do with these shards over and stuff, because so on a plentiful server, you just get a shard every time you kill these bosses. On top of that, whenever you kill them, the shard, for whatever reason, or so whenever you have them, whenever you drop them, the shard, for whatever reason, stays there. It just stays on the ground for, I don't know, maybe until server reset. Even if it's expired, I dropped one on this server and it was there for literally 3 days. So I went back to my base and I was trying to decide what to do because no one was online anymore. And I came up with a very sinister plan. What could I do with all of these shards if I wasn't going to be able to give them away to people because nobody was on here? This server was paid for 6 months, and so I figured, just in case it gets revived, I will drop these shards in areas around Farbane that high-level players are unlikely to go, but low-level players are very likely to go, just in case, some high-level player just probably won't be riding past most of these locations. I even just put them right outside both of the tutorial zones, just in case some new player joined the server and hopped down and suddenly found a shard. I also gave it to this guy, Kuh, who'd been playing on the server. This guy was massively double teamed and raided by people. He was level 60, got raided by 90s just for, the terrible mistake of sticking up for somebody who was also level 60 or something. Little cringe. Anyway, so I dropped the rest of them off here and left one chez moi. And after that, I put all of my stuff into my workbenches, all of my weapons, my legendaries, my armor, my pendants, everything I had. I said goodbye to my servant. I went through my base one last time and opened up all of the doors just in case someone decided to come lurking around to see what was inside. They could come here and just walk in and find a gigantic treasure trove of loot. So I also got rid of my 2 castle chests. Yes, there were 2 castle chests on the server, which is a terrible idea. Do not do that if you're hosting a server. But I got rid of these and I put all of my stuff away into boxes for someone to enjoy if they happened to fall upon these or come upon these. But that was the last time I was going to be in this castle. I went back to my coffin to say goodbye. Anyway, that is going to be it. Thanks for watching this series. I really hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one.